Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Oh, my lips are dry. Hey, hey, hey. Let's see. Oh, do I need my other glasses? Or do I need these? Maybe I just need to clean these. Hey, as y'all come in, let me get my glasses clean. Whew. Y'all know me, always running. Always running. Running to see where the end gonna be. That's an old church song. Oh man. So let's see. So tonight I'll let everybody come in. Let me say my hellos. Y'all know what I do. Hey, A game expert. How you doing? Hey, ambitious Virgo. Hey, Church City Bending. Megagram, how are you? Are you back in town yet? Hey, Block Amigo. Hey, Tundra. Hey, Derek. Hey, D Green. Hi, everybody. Hey, Kissieri. Hey, Nurse Gross. Nurse Gross. Hey, hey, hey. How y'all doing? All right. Y'all come on in here tonight. Hey, Rochelle. Hey, Rochelle Holmes. How are you? Where we at? Where we at? We still at 3? Or we got more? How I like it that way. How y'all doing? Hey, hey, hey. All right, you guys. I am hyped today. I'm so hyped. We have a special guest on the live today. You guys can still do as usual. Put your comments and your questions. You can put your questions in the little question box and we'll go through them and answer it. Or you can put it in the comments and I'll try to go back through and scroll. Just depends on how many comments. But if you guys can hear me perfectly, you already know. Let's chime in. Throw me up some deuces. Put 2 in the chat. Put some 2s in the chat so I can know y'all can hear me. And I ain't just talking to myself. Hey, I am Chanel McCullough. Hi, Kira. Hey, Exo Takara. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, I'm getting some 2s. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so tonight, let's see. Our guest is ready to go. We got a guest tonight. Tonight's subject is protect the crown. Protect the crown. Associate of mine's, Miss Angel, is coming in, and Miss Angel is going to we're gonna go over some information for you guys. Oh, my other phone is ringing. Hold on a second. We're going to go over some information for you guys. Can you hear me, Angela? I mean, why am I saying Angel? Can you hear me, Angel?
Yep.
She's an angel from heaven. Why am I calling you Angela? Girl, I know your name. Hey, look, I'm still saying hello. Hey, Lena Bina. Hey, Spin. Hey, Nuck Poo. Hey, Let a Girl Try. How you doing? It's Let a Girl Try. We're going to be spending every night together. We was just on the Zoom, 3-hour Zoom yesterday. Good grief. Hey. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Hey, Grateful for Grace. All right. As everybody comes in, I'll go ahead and tell you why the subject is protect the crown. Protect the crown. I think everybody in here, and just to let you guys know, you may want to share this with 2 people. 2 people, go ahead and share it out to 2 people, and then come back in here and let me know and put a heart in the comments. Share it out with 2 people, and then come back and put a heart in the comments so I can know you did it. And you showing me love, I'm going to show you love, okay? Y'all go ahead and share this out with 2 people, because this is some good information that really anybody in any business field. It's not just group homes, but specifically tonight, because I'm the group home queen. So And so we're going to apply the information to group homes. But thank you, Let a Girl Try. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But if you can share it with 2 people and then come back in and give me a heart, I would appreciate it. All right. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Psych. Thank you. She giving me purple hearts. Y'all know how I like them purple and pink hearts now. All right, EXO. Hey, Born to Succeed. Share this out with 2 people, you guys, and then come back in and throw a heart in the thank you, Nurse Growth. She got my pink hearts in there. Look at them pink hearts, girl. Look, Angel. Look at my pink hearts. Hey, okay. So we sharing it out. We putting the hearts in there to let us know. And I am going to introduce what, how do they say it? Introduce to some, or what do they say? I am going to introduce you guys to the lovely Angel. Angel Stephen or Stephen? Stephen? Okay, got it. All right. So we are going to be covering basically, tell them what we're going to be covering. You want to tell them? You want me to tell?
We both can tell them.
Okay. So really, in my group home journey, like I started with a company called Legal Shield, okay? Because I knew I needed legal advice. And so the first few years I was with Legal Shield. As my business grew and I scaled it, then I actually put a lawyer on retainer, okay? Now, once again, because people keep coming to me saying, what do we do for legal? You know, I can't afford a lawyer. My lawyer charges normally $500 an hour, okay? That's his normal fee. But because me and him have built relationships, and you know I'm all about relationships, he doesn't charge me that much, but I do keep him on a retainer. And that's because my business is kind of big. When you're starting off small, you need protection, but you need something that is going to be affordable because you're just getting started, right, Angel? You need something affordable, but you need something that is going to work to your benefit. And so me and Angel are on here because we are both associated with Legal Shield, and we want to share with you guys the importance of having legal protection. Okay? All right. So hey, if y'all here for it, throw some fire in the chat. Throw some fire in the chat for me, y'all. Y'all see I'm hyped tonight because this is something that people keep asking me about, you know? Right? Am I correct? People everywhere need some legal advice, legal protection. They need all that, right?
Absolutely. And it keeps them in the power that they want to stand in. There's power in having a legal team in place. But the biggest part is for people to realize that they even need it, right? You put in all this work together. They're coming to you and saying, hey, I got this dream that I want to go after. I want to be just like you, half of you, a piece of you. I want to be bigger than you. And I want to know what to do to make it happen, right? You know, all those things are going through people's minds. So they come to you. You got to come to the best to get the best. Mm-hmm. But what happens is it doesn't make sense to start to put everything in place, but to have the one missing thing. I mean, if you pick up any book on wealth, it tells you some of the most important pieces to have on your team. And one is to have a legal team. And I understand that when people are first getting started in business, and sometimes even if they've been in business for a while, Miss Mari, you know this, right? They look at having access to attorneys as a liability versus an asset, but it's an asset. Because it's going to help your asset continue to grow.
Yes.
Literally. Yes. Both ways, right? Personally and professionally. Because unfortunately, we are not exempt from life. And so even as you're building your business, life is still happening. And so the great part about having a powerful legal team in your pocket is that it allows you to function and make the best decisions for yourself and your family, personally and professionally. Some of you are still working a job and doing this on a part-time, right? This is your side gig until your side gig becomes your main gig. And so you really need to have things in place because you're doing what you got to do. Why wouldn't you protect that?
Exactly. Yes.
Why wouldn't you position yourself to always be able to make the right decision? I mean, there's a logical decision and there's a Google decision. Now, how many of you have ever found yourself late at night saying, let me go on Google? Because you know Google has the answer. I'll tell you a funny story. One of my god nieces, she was young at this point, and they were trying to figure out something. And she told her dad, she said, hey, Dad, just use the phone. He said, what are you talking about? She said, just ask Google. Now, see, that's the generation that they're growing up in. But we don't want to do that with our business. A lot of times we ask the NIMs. We ask our cousin and them, our mama and them, our brother and them, our sister and them. And the NIMs don't have the answers, right? And so, yes, Queen, we definitely want to protect the crown and have the right things in place so that we can do the right thing, you know, for our business and keep it going and do more than just keep it afloat, but get it right from the offset, right from the beginning.
Yes. And speaking of just the beginning, just because I always take notes when I'm doing my Winning Wednesday, because I take my Winning Wednesday very serious. I'm pouring into my tribe. We call them the MH gang. So I want to make sure that I jot down notes. So some things you may need legal advice for or help with. Contracts from the get-go. You're going to need somebody to be looking over your contracts to make sure your documentation is up to standards, right? Right, Angel? That would be something to get started.
Absolutely. To have attorneys review your contracts and documents, maybe even for helping you look at the ones you are preparing. Or if you've been in for a minute and you have some contracts that you're still using, but you don't really know. Maybe you found a template online. Maybe you partnered up with someone else before you got with Miss Mari, right? The queen. And you still have some things that you're still using, but is it still valid today? With all the new legislation, there's new policies today. There's new procedures today. And you want to what? You want to decrease the risk of mitigation, right?
Mitigate that risk, girl.
Absolutely.
I just did a training on that. Risk mitigation.
Yeah. And also it's good because the contracts, things are different in different states.
Yes.
And I heard you speaking the other day and you were talking about someone that you were helping in an entirely different state, right? So maybe there are some things that someone here online is listening to, whether they're with us live or they're going to look at this later. And maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do that too. I want to not only be in my state, I want to be interstate, right? So here and then across the state line, you're looking to do something. Well, the law is different, you know, in that state than it is in yours. So it is really important to be able to use it for contract and document review. Now I can keep going, but I'm going to hear what your other questions are.
Okay, so one thing that I was gonna say too is good, and the thing is, I have a lawyer. I've had a lawyer the whole time I've been open, whether it be Legal Shield or another lawyer, because I know you know. Risk mitigation. I'm trying to be careful as I walk through my group home journey, and I'm trying to make sure I get things right. You know, so things like real estate issues. When you're dealing with real estate or zoning or things like that, you may need legal advice for that. And people don't be, you know, thinking about that. I know somebody right now in Pennsylvania that is in court in regards to their zoning. So these are the type of things. Go ahead.
No, it's really great because then at that point, who do you call? And so if you're not in a position, you know, like Queen said a few minutes ago, like, hey, I got someone on retainer. And traditionally, he charges $500 an hour, right? And if you're like, well, my pocket is not, it's steep, but it's not steep to be paying someone $500 an hour. You know, think about how many hours do you have to put into your business to get 1 hour of an attorney's time if they're $500 an hour. And then, like she just mentioned, just two things, right? Something dealing with real estate and then contract and document review. Well, that could be two different types of attorneys. Wouldn't you want an attorney that specializes in the area that you need? And by having the type of service that she's mentioning here is that you get a full service law firm. So now you don't have to stress, you don't have to guess. You have attorneys that have an average of 22 years of experience, which is pretty powerful, versus sometimes we have friends and family that are attorneys, nothing wrong with that, but sometimes they don't specialize in the area that you need. And now you're asking them to go give you 2 weeks of experience because they got to study or figure it out, when you can have access to someone that has the experience that you need so that you can make the most qualified decision for what you need to do next in your business. That makes sense, Mari?
So true. Yes, that makes absolute sense. And I will tell you, my lawyer that I have on retainer also goes and consults with other lawyers because he wants to figure out, like, if we're doing labor, he wants the best in labor. If we're doing this with Legal Shield, you have access to all those lawyers. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Oh,
you think about even mentioning labor law, like, do you have your employee handbook in place? They help
right.
you with that. Or when's the last time your employee handbook has been looked at? I mean, when they did that, what's it called? I may not even say it correctly, but that new law that came out with because of the pandemic. Do you have things in place with that because of the new policies and procedures?
Right.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe like, I don't even know what you're talking about. You couldn't say it right and I don't know anything about it. This is why it's great to pick up the phone and be able to speak to someone to make sure that you have things in order. And it's great because you can now ask an attorney in whichever area of law you need for what you're doing here in this business and say, hey, is there anything that I should have asked you that I just didn't know to ask you? Because we know there's a lot of times you just don't know that you don't know.
Mm-hmm. So true. I will say this, I didn't know. I'm always transparent with my people. And so in the beginning, like I said, I had Legal Shield. I stopped with Legal Shield. And then I had a break in between. And I got sued, y'all. I got sued by somebody. And so that is why I sought out that lawyer. And he's been my lawyer ever since. But in that, I got sued. Somebody was suing me for over 6 figures. Okay. But I didn't know the labor laws. So I thought I was doing what was right by this person, but according to the law, I was not doing what was right according to the law. Now I'm saying all this because it's over and done with. The suit, everything got settled or whatever. But had I have known beforehand the actual laws, had I consulted with the lawyer to say, hey, do I have this set up right? Do I have my independent contractor contract set up right? And things like that, I could have avoided what I did end up having to pay. I don't want you guys to have to pay. Do you get what I'm saying? What am I? I'm a mentor. So your mentors are supposed to make all these mistakes so you don't have to. So I'm telling you guys, you don't have to make those mistakes. Seek legal advice from the beginning. Get that legal advice, get that protection of Legal Shield. Let it be a shield for you in the beginning, and then you don't have to worry about it, because you have that where you can pick up the phone and call somebody. You ain't trying to figure it out and wade through the water and, is a crocodile about to eat me? No. Well, you got that raft underneath you already. I don't know why that popped.
I don't either, but it was great. But I mean, you were right on because we want folks to be proactive.
Yes.
And yes, it is great to learn from your experiences. And, sometimes things don't work out the way that you want to. You only fail if you quit. But, when you fall down and you learn from that, but why if you don't have to get hurt? As the queen is saying, if you don't have to get hurt, why choose that route?
That's it. Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. And so another thing is when you're dealing with residents, we went over employment issues. Another area is residents' rights. There are always things that are coming up that, like I did a video a couple of months ago. APS showed up in my house. Somebody reported me for doing something that we didn't even really do, but APS came out, even though it was like they said, oh, we didn't find you guys at fault, nothing happened. Still, when stuff like that happens, I call my attorney because I want to make sure he's on board just in case if something happens.
Right.
So you want to have that to where you're not scrambling, looking, you hear these commercials or you're driving down the highway, you see these billboards. You don't want to be scrambling for those people. You want to know that you have somebody. You want to know that that you got somebody that got your back, that you can just call
Yeah.
them up and say, hey, this is what's going on. What should I do?
I'm glad you brought that up too, because sometimes things happen, bad things happen to good people,
Mhm.
and it happens after business hours.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, life doesn't stop after 5 p.m. or on the weekends or the holiday, and your business will not stop after 5 p.m. on the holidays or the weekend. So what do you do if APS does show up at your door? Who you gonna call? You ain't call Queen. Queen might be asleep, right?
Call
But
me.
but with this service, here's what happens. It gives you 24-hour access to an attorney. If you feel your civil rights or liberties are being denied, APS shows up to your house. Let's say you got your kids and CPS shows up to your house. They got to investigate no matter whether it's true or not, right?
Mhm.
So they show up if it's 24 hours access. So if someone shows up to your house, you feel your civil rights or liberties are being denied, even if you're arrested, pulled over, or questioned or detained, you got 24-hour access to an attorney. It says you have the right to an attorney and the right to remain silent. But if you don't have an attorney, what good is the right?
Exactly. Exactly. I'm like, to me, it's like, it, it's kind of like insurance, you know? You have insurance, not that you're going around doing stuff where insurance, where you have to use it, but you have it. So if something happens or somebody hits you, it's not always your fault, because things that happen to me, I always tell people, I always have good intentions. I always have good intentions, but things happen. Like she said, things happen. People will accuse you of stuff. Things like liability issues. That's another thing. I have a friend who has a business. Somebody failed in front of his business. Guess what? He getting sued. Things happen. And you cannot control every situation, and you cannot control what people do. And so all you can do is protect your crown, right? That's it.
Absolutely. I think you said it. If we didn't say anything else, you summed it up in that one word.
Mhm.
Why build the kingdom if you're not going to protect it?
Man, because
It doesn't make sense. And if you want to leave a legacy,
Mhm.
you can't leave a legacy if it's not protected.
That's it. And look, I always throw scripture into what I'm saying. Scripture says, "No weapons formed against me shall prosper." It don't say the weapons ain't gonna form. You get what I'm saying? It don't say that darts ain't gonna get thrown at you. And so that's why I just feel like you have to always be. You always have to guard your business, and not just business, your personal too, because things can come up against you at home. Heck, somebody could fall outside my house. I tell people, the more money you get, the more people come after you. So I always try to stay suited and booted.
Yeah. And it's so great. And it's not even just that. There's so many things. So imagine like this month is cyber secure month, right? What if something comes along that you become a victim of identity theft and it starts hitting everything in your business?
Man.
What if you have a business partner and some of your things are connected to one another? What if you want to get a business partner? What are some of the things that you should put in place? Like, what are the questions that you should lay out first, that the foundation is strong, especially if it's someone that's a friend or a family member, so that the relationship as a friend and a family member is still maintained even after business decisions are dissolved or don't go the way either of you thought they were going to go. And it's so powerful because if you have everything done on the front end, it's so easy because you can be like, but
This
that we
what
put
this
together.
says.
Right, right.
I tell people, get it in writing.
Yes, yes. So the biggest thing is having access and not being concerned about costs.
Mm-hmm.
The know that small business owners have big business problems, but they don't always have big business money. And so the focal point is for you to be able to do what you love best so that you can get up every day free in mind. Because when you have, I bet you, Queen, if I asked you, you walk and talk different because you know you have access. You don't even have to stress now. It's like if something doesn't feel right in your gut, doesn't seem right in your head, or is on the verge of keeping you up at night, it don't have to, because you know you can make a call. But those of you who are listening right now, how many times has something popped up? Let's go off your business for a minute. When has something popped up in your family that you needed legal help for, and you were so focused on that because it's kept you up at night, it slowed you down in your business? Right? So like we had someone, their kid was being bullied at school. Now you're going to stop your business to go help take care of your child being bullied that you couldn't get something stopped on. What would you do? Right. So to know that no matter what shows up, so that you can keep doing what, put one foot in front of the other and move forward. Sometimes you're going to move fast, sometimes you're going to move slow. All that matters is that you're moving, because no matter what, as long as you have access to your phone, you have in the palm of your hand access to your attorney, to some of the best legal minds in the country, all across the United States. No matter where you are, what you're doing, whether it's personal or professional, you can pick up the phone, tap the app, and call and speak to someone as many times as you need, and not be concerned about getting a bill at the end. How would that change for you?
Wow.
How many times would you call?
Look, they'll be acting like, because my children are a little bit cocky. They don't. Like their friends put up with stuff, they be like, oh no, I will call Chuck. You know what I mean? It makes them step a little bit more confident, like, no, you're not going to play these games with us. So yeah, so it does give you a little bit more confidence to know that you have something backing you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, I'm only going to mention this because I was on the phone with a business owner earlier today on a couple of different things, but you said something about kids. And one of the things that's really powerful about the service as well, there's one area, because you were talking about this last week. I got a chance to peep in to your Winning Wednesday, and you know, about putting things in place and like estate planning and making sure all that stuff's protected. And so even then, people may have looked and listened and said, well, that sounds great, but I just don't know, I want to, you know, spend the money yet. Well, here with this, you can still get some basic things in place to protect your business, right? Like getting your estate planning in place, speaking and getting your will done, your healthcare power of attorney, your financial power of attorney. Let me tell you why I brought up the kids. It's because in most states, at the age of 18, if something happened to that child medically, do you know, even if they're living in the home, that the doctor doesn't have to tell you anything?
Yeah.
And this is why it's so great to have this stuff in place as well, especially if that's the child, the children you want to pass things on to. So there's so many great reasons that you're bringing this to your tribe here, for them to really sit back and look. Things that they probably had questions about, they wanted, they talked about it. You know, I know so many people run so hard away from the one thing that they need to help them.
Right.
So I'm just going to tell you, stop running. You're in the right place at the right time with the right person. And she's just bringing you one more thing to help you thrive in your business and get the things that you're looking for, so you no longer have to stress, guess. There's nothing that has to keep you up at night. If you got questions, you can pick up the phone and call someone. If you know you need a letter written and your letter isn't working, you need some letterhead. So you guess what you need to do is you need to have your attorneys to step in on your behalf. Or your contracts are old and dusty, or you're not quite sure, you know, what's in your contract, or maybe you're about to sign a contract. Before you put your signature on it, you might want to have an attorney review it for you. A lot of times we sign so many things, and Queen, you probably can vouch for this, whether it's certain types of insurances and things that you have in place, and you didn't remember to read the clause, or you thought you understood in the beginning, and then something goes right and you find out, oh, that wasn't in there. Oh, that's not covered?
Right. I've been through that. with my attorney. I'm telling you, I've been through that where I had
Mm.
and he was like, oh no, we got to add this, this, and this. Or I've had people bring me contracts trying to sign me up for something or trying to like partner with me. And he read it, he like, oh no, we're not doing that. so yeah, you need that. You need that in your life.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a business owner, you definitely need that in your life.
Yeah. And what about, let's say you have people who owe you and you're not getting paid on time. Do you want to become the debt collector, or would it be better to just pick up the phone and call your attorney and let them write a letter on your behalf so that debt can be collected?
Done that too.
You see what I'm saying?
Our money, and he wrote a letter and did all this stuff and got us our
You
money. So
see?
yep, you need protection.
You need the protection. So I could go on and on about the different things that they do, but like she mentioned earlier about threats of lawsuits, consumer lawsuits, your clients and so forth. I mean, it could be one lawsuit, and even if you win, if you have to go defend yourself without the right thing in your pocket, that could just wipe you out.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even matter if it's frivolous or not, you still got to go defend yourself so that you don't lose by default. So I'm just really grateful that she popped in today. For those of you who have questions, pop them in. Like, okay, you're kind of telling us how it works and what it does for us, but I'm sitting here cheesing and grinning because I can sleep good at night because I know that most of the people spend more money. Talk to the ladies for a minute. You spend more money getting your nails done or buying lipstick or getting your feet done or your hair than what it will cost to have the service that I'm talking with you about, because you don't have to worry about paying hourly. You pay monthly because we have the global buying power.
Yes.
Legal
Yes.
Shield has been a disruptive business model for quite some time. We now protect over 4.5 million lives across the United States and Canada. Over 140,000 businesses have this service because it makes sense.
See, I didn't even know it was that many people.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. So we're all over the United States and Canada. We've been around for over 50 years, probably longer than some of you have been alive. And if you're saying, girl, please, I am older than 50, 51, then look, if you here in the company here, then hey, we all doing something right, okay? So the main thing is you don't have to really wonder, stress, or guess. We have service level agreements in place. I love this too, because maybe you're in a place where you say, well, I do kind of have an attorney I reach out to. I don't always get to talk to him or her. I usually talk to the paralegal or the legal assistant. Well, here you're going to actually be speaking to the attorney in the area that you need every time, all the time. Okay, that's the other great part. The second thing is that when you do pick up the phone, and now we have an app. This is why I was talking about being a disruptive business model. We have an app, so that's why wherever you go, you can just tap the app. You can set an appointment for the attorney to call you, or you call into the law firm, and in the event they're not available, they have 4 business hours to call you back. Now, if you've ever used an attorney before, you know good and well you're not about to talk to the attorney 4 hours later. Okay, that's the first thing. As far as even getting your contracts back to you, writing letters and phone calls, all of those have service level agreements in place. So you don't have to be wondering like, man, I reached out to my attorney a while back and it's been 7 days, 10 days. I haven't heard anything, I haven't gotten anything. You know, within 72 hours, you have that paperwork back in your hand with someone that you can talk to.
Okay, so let's go over, like, say if someone was interested, and just to let you guys know, I did post my link. I pinned my a link if you want to go in there and check it out. But if someone is like wanting, let's go kind of like a personal plan. They don't really have a business,
Okay.
or have a home business, or if they have, so kind of go over the different plans so they can understand.
Okay, great. So say you don't have a business, but you want the protection because you heard me mention something about personal. I'm about to blow your mind. I'm talking about a service that's only $1 a day. You spend more than 30 bucks getting your nails done, okay? You say, well, Angel, how are you able to do that? Well, it's not your dollar a day or my dollar a day, but it's that 4.5 million people, right, that's spending that dollar a day. But the law firms, that law firm in your particular state, they're paid by per capita of the members in that state. So we have law firms that are being paid 6 and 7 figures a month, which makes you their number one client. So when you're their number one client, you get number one attention. This is why we can have a service level agreement in place and say the things that we're saying, even down to a point, because look, we all people too. So even when something doesn't go right, you're like, now, I didn't get, not that you didn't hear what you want to hear, but I didn't get the service I thought I should have received. We even have an attorney resolution department in place, so investigations can happen right away. Now, who you gonna call if you go down the street to, you know, Joe Doe to get help, and Joe Doe doesn't do what he's supposed to do? Who do you call? You just get upset. Now you go back to Google, maybe you do a report. I'm not sure, but here you just know that you have the peace of mind to make sure that you get the valuable service that you need. So we have a personal plan that protects you, your spouse or significant other, your children up to the age of 26, whether they're at home or away in college, any child you're guardian for up to the age of 18, and any physically or mentally challenged children, regardless of the age they reach, are all covered under that one plan. So for $1 a day, you can pick up the phone anytime you need, speak to an attorney. They will review your contracts and documents. Now I'm talking about on a personal matter. If you get a traffic ticket, do you have teenage drivers or do you still drive like a teenager? You can have an attorney go to court for you or with you, or at least tell you what to say or do. The main goal is to keep you from getting points in your records. Your insurance rate's gonna go up. And let me tell you, you can use it for small things, you can use it for big things. When I was overcharged with my cell phone company, $70, which is not a lot of money, but it was my money, and I didn't want to spend it, I was able to use my personal plan and get that resolved. When I moved from California to Florida to purchase my home, guess what? They reviewed my documents for me, and they kept me from paying additional fees that this broker and agent was trying to get me to pay. That didn't even make sense. That one, I should have never paid, and two, I'm a veteran too, so I wouldn't have paid any of that stuff. But it was because I had an attorney review that contract for me. I'm still talking about personal stuff because I know some of you are getting ready to transition and getting the gig. So I had a good friend. She was, she got laid off, and she got a severance package, and she was happy with her severance package. She was even ready to go. And we encouraged her to get your contract reviewed. Just get a review. Who knows? I mean, if it's no big deal, it's no big deal. All I want to tell you is she was happy with what they gave her. This is still on the personal side. The attorneys reviewed the contract. I don't know what they found. All I know is they were able to get her an additional $80,000. Y'all, come on, for $1 a day?
Whoa.
$1 a day? She can't even live long enough for what she got back in return for that one phone call that she made and that one contract review that she had from the attorney.
Wow.
Yes.
I
So
was
this is great.
about it, and they were excited because, what is it? After 3 months, they'll do your divorce for no charge.
Oh, so let's talk about that. So if you're going through an uncontested divorce, adoption, or name change, all your attorney fees are paid for as long as it's uncontested. Win, lose, or draw.
All y'all people running around here still married because y'all
and you ain't, I ain't saying that. That's the queen, you know what I'm saying? But if you can hold on for 90 more days, all I'm saying, well, 89 after today, okay? So if you can hold on for just 89, 90 more days, then we got you covered, okay? But if you can't hang on at bare minimum, you can get on the phone and speak to someone. Also, if you have a pre-existing issue, if you're listening, you say, my God, I have been losing sleep at night. I haven't been feeling right in my gut. My head's like telling me this is not right and I need to talk to someone. Can this help me? Yes. And she put her link in. I need to put it back in now. I don't see it no more, but oh, there it is. You can click her link. You can, look, they'll help you with your pre-existing issue. And if it can be covered at 100%, as you hear me talking today, then you'll receive a 25% discount. And that discount even kicks in for things we hope never show up in your life, right? DUI, bankruptcy issues, criminal issues, because things happen, right? You know that you have that in place. And all that's stuff that you heard me talk about earlier, I talked about estate planning, you know, have something in place. Those are just all important documents we know we should have as responsible adults. So you'll get your will prepared, a living will, a healthcare power of attorney, a financial power of attorney, your children's trust. And guess what? That is reviewed and updated every single year because things will change. And as you're here, you know, with the queen building your business, you know it's going to change. And so that way you'll be able to update that stuff without thinking about it. And without paying any additional fees either. Yes, I'm listening.
But I'm doing these, like I did the wealth last week. I'm doing you with the legal, because I heard a story. Somebody came back to me and said somebody had built up their group home, got it together, and they died. They didn't have no will, no nothing. So they legacy is in probate, because so this is the thing, y'all. I want y'all to have group homes, but I don't want to help people set up group homes if y'all don't have priorities on, like, life insurance, a will, you know what I'm saying? Legal things that need to be set up too, just in case if something happens. Just in case. I have stuff set up just in case, because I travel everywhere. Look, I'm not gonna will. I don't want it to happen, but anything can happen. I want to make sure that things are in place, so if something happens to me, it continues on. And so I can't keep going through just sharing with people how to get group homes. Yeah, get these group homes. And people don't have legal representation, don't have no type of insurance, don't have any type of girl, my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's crazy to me. You gotta have wheels. You gotta have things set in place, so if something happens, your family don't have to worry about stuff. Now this family is all, it's all in a shambles, because the head, the patriarch, the person that did everything is gone. How bad does that makes me feel horrible. So I'm saying, you guys, that's why I can't come on here and just answer questions all the time. I'm gonna have to share things with y'all so y'all can be set up correctly, so y'all can have protection that you need, because there's no sense in getting the group home if you ain't gonna keep it. I was asked the question last night, because I teach a licensed professional class on Tuesdays, and we was asked the question, like, what are you doing? What did you do for longevity? Like, what did you do to set yourself up for the long run? And that was a question that was asked. Well, I did things like this. I have IUL set up for me and my children. I have, money set aside. I have, a will. I have what do they call it? A living attorney and all of that. So if something happens, people ain't just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Not to say,
I love it. I love it.
But we need to do it right, people. We need to do it right. You need, look, I'm telling y'all need this. If you don't have a lawyer in your back pocket, you need this.
It's so good. I can feel your heart coming through. And I'm so grateful to have met you and to know you, that you're teaching people how to build their kingdom or queendom. And you have to have strong foundations. You have to have strong pillars. When you've been putting it, you can go do the research, the things that you have to do when they're getting ready to start construction, and they dig deep first, right? Especially if they're looking to build something that's going to be really tall, which I imagine you're not here for the little bit. Mm-hmm. Even you say, I'm just trying to get my little piece, you still want your little piece to be big to your world. And so you have to have the foundations in place so that it don't tumble over. She talked about the word. You don't want to build it on sand.
Right.
So it just washes away. So this is really powerful. I know some people jumped off, or some people are kind of tuning out, like, okay, I hear y'all. And that ain't happened to me. Well, there's a lot of people that things have happened that said it'll never happen to me until when it happens.
Yeah. And the thing is, like I told y'all, I've been in lawsuits. I've gotten sued. Someone brand new may not be able to recover from that. And not to say what they wanted, but still, somebody may not be able to recover like I was able to recover. So it's just best to pay a small portion to protect yourself on a monthly basis. And look, like she said, these nails ain't cheap. All these lashes ain't cheap. All these, BBLs, people getting in all of that. Look, let me call people out. I'm just saying, all this stuff ain't cheap. If you're going to pay that, then pay for something that is really is going to be good for you in the long run, that is going to protect you.
Well, I'll leave this with you and anything else that you want me to answer. But at the barest minimum, if you can only protect yourself personally, it's $30. Don't let $30 get in the way. That's for a whole month, right? You're talking about a whole month worth of service. You can get a whole lot done in a month, right? Look, let me tell you, 5 business days, you can have your will prepared. You need something reviewed in the next 72 hours, you can have that stuff reviewed. Some of y'all need stuff right now. You know you do. And you say, well, I do have a business. I want to protect it, but I cannot afford the service. Get our personal plan, add on our home business supplement, $14.99. You talking about $44.
Too.
Come on. I spent more than that on the tube ballistic. Not that I necessarily wanted to, but I have before because I wanted it. Right. But this, you're talking about value that you get for the whole month. Folks, some of you can't even take yourself out to lunch for that.
Right.
So, and if that is the case, then give up Starbucks for 3 days, 2 days, 2 or 3 days, and you got our service for the whole month, right? Sorry, Starbucks. I don't know. I know this is being recorded, but the point is, y'all know Starbucks ain't cheap. You probably don't even need it anyways. But bottom line is, get that up for 2 or 3 days.
Starbucks is cheap. It is cheap. But okay, so we went over personal. So what does the business plan entail?
Business plan is the same concept. We have several in place. So, if they need to go into more intricate detail, we can do that. But we have our top tier plan. You're looking at about $180 a month. But that is for someone who says, I got 5 other people that are part of this. I would love to help make decisions. I have a CEO that I have needs to pick up the phone when I'm not available. My HR, needs to pick up the phone because they have questions about employees or whatever. My COO. But you get the same thing as far as, the contract and document reviews, the phone consultation and advice, which is important because sometimes you just need an answer.
Right.
You just need to be able to pick up the phone and get an answer to your question. If your business is being sued, earlier we were talking about personal, we were talking about business, but here, if your business is being sued, and as she mentioned earlier, thank God she was in a place that she could continue to move forward, but some people aren't. So if you do find yourself in that situation, you have a plan in place to protect you. What about if you're getting audited, right? A tax audit. Some people get that right away. Why? Because your money changing. You're going from, earning 40 or 50 or 60, maybe even $100,000 a year to earning 7 figures. Like, how you do that in the last 12 months? Somebody coming to knock on the door. And so you may want to have that in place if you find yourself being audited, or maybe you just even have questions about making sure your strategies are right.
Also, too, you speaking about audits, I don't know if people know, but when you're dealing with Medicaid, Medicare, state funds, federal funds, hey, you better be on point because you can get audited at any time. And on point. Yep. We just went through one. Somebody said on the call that they said we wouldn't even know you be going through all this stuff because I have the confidence to say, because my intentions is always to do what's right, and I know that I have the protection that I need, and so I deal with it as it comes. You know, I
Yeah.
just keep a smile on my face and keep trucking.
Well, if Success Leaves Clue was a person, it'd be your picture. Folks, she has left so much. I mean, she's left so many clues, right? It's like the Hansel and Gretel, that those bread or candy drops, they're everywhere. And so she's giving you all the sauce. That's what I always say, lost in the sauce. She is giving you all the sauce right here of like, yep, this happened, this happened, this happened. So what I love is that you're not pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. And these are the things that I have in place that has kept me smiling and continuing to grow. So if you want to protect your business, you want to grow your business, you want to protect your livelihood, your lifestyle, your family, and grow that as well, you listening to the right person. And again, tonight she's brought one more thing that you could put in your tool belt, you know, to keep you strong and empowered, so that you can protect that crown.
Yeah.
And I just say, you know,
moving forward, to keep moving, to keep moving. That's what you got to do. So someone in here said, is there TRC cleaning? Hey, sir. So he said, is there a fee for a consultation? Do you do consultations to go over any information? Or you just, we have links that we can send you so you can watch videos. Yeah.
yeah,
So
you can
TRC,
do that.
yeah, I'll send you a video that you can go over, and then if you have any questions you can reach out. Okay,
Absolutely.
give me a
And you
thumbs
can
up
also,
if that sounds good.
that's awesome. And I'll be more than happy, Queen, to do something special for you. If you have a group that's like, I want to reach and touch, we can jump on a Zoom and I'll do something special just for your group of people. So we
Okay,
can do that
cool.
too.
Cool. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so TRC, I'm gonna send you a link after I find out from Angel which link to send you. I'm gonna send that to you. But yeah, somebody called me, have it on do not disturb, so I don't even know how this call is coming through. Can you hear me?
We can. So maybe that's why you were pausing a lot. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know how they coming through. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what I wanted to go over with you guys tonight. Um, hey, you gotta protect the crown. You gotta protect your kingdom now. You gotta be covered. And so, like I said, if you guys have any questions, or if you really can click on that link, I pinned the link at the bottom. You can go in there, you can look around. If you want to join, you can join. It's really simple. I was able to maneuver through it, so you know it's simple. And so, for real, somebody is really trying to call me.
It must be
Yeah,
important.
I don't know why it's coming through though. I got my phone on do not disturb, so that's weird. But anyway, I'm gonna have to check with T-Mobile on
Unless
that one. But
they're in your favorites and it's an emergency, then it'll go past that, even if it's on do not disturb. So you might
oh, okay,
have to check that out.
all right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And like I said, reach out or you can go to the link. Thank you so much, Angel. I really appreciate your time. If they are on your, oh, somebody just said what you said, but thank you for your time. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Okay. All right. As I always say, be a blessing to someone else. Goodbye. You're welcome. You're welcome.